Hi everybody, this is Pach with Three Peaks Photography coming to you from beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado. I hope everybody is safe and doing well. Because of the challenges that we've had, I have decided to create this game called Virtual Haircut. A lot of you have been complaining that you can't get to your barber or your hairstylist because they're closed and we're supposed to stay home, and you're getting a little shaggy and you're itching for a haircut. So here's a fun virtual solution for us that we can use to practice some Photoshop skills. In my case, I don't need a haircut. I got one in September, so I'm good. I'm good for another couple years, so no worries with me. But if you want to play this game, it's best to start with a photo of yourself against a plain backdrop. And if you have long hair, tie it back. That will also make things a bit easier for us. Now the next step is to search for a new do. In my case, I decided that I wanted to go with the Flock of Seagulls look. It's a classic. So I went on to Google, searched for Flock of Seagulls wigs, and this is what I found. This image is going to be fairly easy for us to work with. One of the reasons for that is because it's on a simple white backdrop, and that will be easy for us to select that white portion of the image. In order to do that, I'm going to go up to my toolbar on the left and choose the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool works on selecting color. Since this is a solid white color, all I have to do is take the tool and click once on the backdrop, and you see that you end up with what we call our marching ants. This is an indication that you've made a selection, and now whatever is selected is the active portion of the image. We're working with the backdrop and the face first, and then we're going to invert our selection to end up with the hair because it's easier in this case to work basically backwards. The next thing we're going to do here is work on selecting the face. So we're going to go back to our toolbar, select the quick selection tool, and this is a brush tool, so we can use our bracket keys to change the size of our brush. And as long as I have a plus sign in the middle, I can add to my selection. So I'm going to start down at the neck, and you can see my marching ants being nudged up towards his mouth. And we're going to keep nudging until we get to the edge of the hair. It's skipped over a little bit, but that's not a problem. We can nudge that back. If I hold my Alt or Option key down, I get a minus sign inside my brush, and that allows me to nudge the edge of my selection back. And this tool is actually supposed to be smart and learn what it is we want to select the more we use this feature of going back and forth. And I'm using the edge of the brush to push my selection edge to the point where I want it. I need to do a little work here on the ear. Start over here and nudge towards the face, and you can see at a certain point it jumps and skips this big swoosh at the bottom, but I can nudge that back and I make my brush a little bit smaller, change to the minus sign and nudge that back down. I'm going to have to do some more refining by switching back to the plus sign and pushing this back. And well, I want to get that portion down below there. Need to push this back. And there we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to cut off that little part there. That'll make things a little easier. And I've got a little bit up here above his ear to nudge back. All right. Let me take a quick look around, and I don't see any major issues right now. This looks pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new layer that has my selection but it also contains a mask, and this is going to allow us to refine our edge later if we need to. So to do this, anytime you use a selection tool, in the options bar across the top there's a button that says select and mask. If I click it, I come to this new area. Oops, one thing I forgot, let me close out of this. Because we selected the background and the face, we actually need to select the hair. So sorry about that. Let's go to the select menu and choose inverse, or the keyboard shortcut is Shift Control or Command I. Now you'll see that the marching ants along the edge of the frame are gone. That's an indication that I've only selected the hair at this point. Now I can go to my select and mask, and you can see that I have the ability to make some further adjustments if I need to, and that's the reason for this particular tool set. On the right hand column, or in the right hand column, I have the ability to change my view. So if a different look serves me better to make my selection or refine my selection edge, then I can choose one that works well. I'm going to choose the overlay. I think that's going to work well for us, either overlay or black for this situation. Over on the left hand side, I have a toolbar with 6 different tools. The second one down is the Refine Edge tool, and I'm going to use this to get rid of these white areas that were picked up. This is because the edge of the hair isn't a sharp edge and it picked up some of the white background. So I'm going to use this to help us out a little bit. I can adjust my brush size again with the bracket keys. I'm going to start up here, and you can see as I'm brushing across, it's getting rid of those white areas and leaving us with the frayed edges of the hair. And I'm going to go over the entire edge all the way around, and this is going to help us once we paste this onto the photo of myself. Work through here, and the more you use this tool, the easier it gets. Go around through here, down along our big swoosh. That looks pretty good. Keep moving along. By the way, I'm just holding my left mouse button down. If you have a tablet, this is a great option, or a tablet is a great option for this tool. I have a rollerball mouse, so it makes it a little bit easier than a regular mouse to work tools like this. I go all the way around through here and then back where we started. Okay, so at this point I've refined our edge. Now I need to output this. So back on our panel on the right hand side, I have a drop down menu that says output to, and if I choose a new layer with layer mask, that's exactly what I'm going to get. So I'm going to select that, click OK, and now you see that I have a new layer, contains a layer mask. That's what this black and white square is, and also it contains our wig. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to copy this layer onto the photo of myself. In order to do that, I go to the layer menu, I select duplicate layer, and then in this dialog box where it says destination document, I want to click on this arrow to bring out this menu. This shows me all of the files that I have open, and I want to select the picture of myself with my hair pulled back so that I can place this layer and the wig onto that photo. Select that, press OK. Now click on the tab for that picture, and you can see there's our wig. but it's too small, so I need to adjust the size. And in order to do that, I'm going to do Control or Command T. That gives me the transform tool, which allows me to resize something. I can also move it or rotate it if I need to. I'm going to grab this handle down at the bottom right and move this out and position it so that it fits onto my head the way I want it to. Move that out there to cover my ear. And rotate it so that swoosh lines up with my cheek there. Alright, that looks pretty good. Once I have my position, or once I have it positioned where I want it to, I can just click the check mark on or in the options bar or hit the enter key. Now I have my wig resized, but I see a couple problems. I see an edge here that was left over from our original selection, and it looks like we may need to refine our edge a little bit here. So it looks like we got some weird fuzzy stuff going on. Not a problem. That's the reason why we use the mask, or why I chose to make a mask. And in order to fix those things, I need to be working with the mask in my layers panel. So if I click on the mask itself, I get those white borders around the corners, and that means that the mask is now active. I want to select the regular brush tool, keyboard shortcut B, and I want to make sure that my foreground and background colors are black and white, and I want to use black in order to get rid of the things that we want to fix. So I'm going to start with this edge and just paint over to get rid of that so it doesn't show up in the picture. Oops, looks like I missed the spot there. There we go. And I'm going to work on the edge of my hair here a little bit and just nudge this a little. If I end up slipping and going too far, no problem. I just flip the black and the white. The keyboard shortcut is X, or you can hit this double-headed arrow here to flip them, and then that allows you to work your way back. I need to go back to black and work my way around here a little bit to fix a little bit of this fuzziness. It does help to zoom in really close onto things that you need to correct, but I'm just doing a quick demonstration here, and this is just a fun thing for us to do, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you want to go in and refine some of your skills, then you can spend as much time on this as you wish. We do have a lot of time these days, or a lot of extra time since we're at home. Gonna work on this a little bit on this side, and you notice that my edge on the left hand side doesn't quite meet with the edge of the original photo, but that's okay. We can fix that with the crop tool. And a little bit more over here. Get this light stuff out of there. Looks like we've got a little bit of a halo going on. I know I'm no angel, so we're getting rid of the halo. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. We'll call that good enough for government work. And I need to take my crop tool and nudge this in a little bit so that I can match my edge there. Alright, and there we have it. This is me with the new flock of seagulls do. So I want to encourage you to have some fun with this. Play around, test your Photoshop skills. Hey, maybe you'll find a look that you're going to end up with after all of this is over. Have your friends send you some photos for you to play with. post this in your photography workshop groups or photography groups on Facebook, and let's have some fun. So stay safe and stay well.